Wednesday, or going into Thursday since I'm recording it at 9 o'clock at night here. And welcome back to the, shall we say, regular musings now. Hot stove's pretty much done. Boys went into camp started off Tuesday or Monday afternoon over at the Detroit City Fieldhouse, getting set for the 2025 version of the USL Championship season, with the opener being March 8th against the Miami FC down at Pitbull Stadium in Miami area. So, but there was a couple of signings announced as the boys were coming into camp. Let's take a look at them. One was officially announced by the club on Monday, and on Tuesday. That being Marcelo Polisi officially signed his 2-year contract. He joins Detroit City FC from Valor FC. As I have mentioned before, of course, we've heard reports about him coming here, but now is signed, sealed, delivered, and done. So Polisi, he'll be wearing number 45. Burnaby, British Columbia native, has spent all of his professional career in the CPL throughout the 2023 season. Polisi played 1,912 minutes over 22 appearances for the Winnipeg, Manitoba club. Only downside, though, is he has been sidelined for the last 16 months due to an injury. He should he's back and ready to go. He's in training right now with the club, so he's working with coaches, Coach Danny Diggio and the rest of the staff there. So Polisi joined Valor in 2023 from Halifax in the CPL. He spent the 2021 and 2022 seasons there, played a total of 2,057 minutes for Halifax, and over 32 matches, which he started 22. He was spent 4 college seasons at Simon Fraser University. It's the only NCAA school in Canada. They are a Division II school. He was named Division II All-American in 2017, as he totaled 6 goals, 7 assists in 4,329 minutes in 51 appearances for the Red Leafs. He also played for the TSSFC Rovers, USL League 2 club. It was a former PDL club. He played there in 2017 and 2019, totaling 22 appearances there. Not going to expect a lot of goal scoring from this guy. I did share a video. In fact, I'll share it again. The video where he banged one from the middle, literally banged one from almost midfield in a game back in 2023. So officially, we can welcome Marcelo to the fold at Detroit City FC. Today, they announced that Darren Smith, South African, has joined the club. Darren comes to us from FC Inter Turku in the Vikas Liga in Finland. Throughout those 2 seasons in the top division of that league, he played in 72 matches. He played in 72 matches and scored 28 goals overall in his career. So, yes, faithful, we have a striker to go along with Ben Morse. Just saying. But Smith played an integral part in Turku's run in the 2024 Finnish League Cup, scoring 5 goals in 6 cup matches, including converting a penalty in the final minutes of normal time and covering in penalties against KUPS, helping Turku lift their second Finnish League Cup. Smith would also score 5 goals in 6 cup matches in the 2024 Finnish Cup campaign, in which the club reached the final to face KUPS once again, but Turku's club, but Turku would finish in would fall in extra time in that match. Prior to joining Turku, Smith spent a season in the Moroccan top division with AS FAR Rabat, becoming the first South African football player to sign with a Moroccan club. He only made 9 appearances during that year. That was scoring 9 appearances with the club, scoring 1 goal and helping the club win the COVID-postponed Moroccan Thorn Cup. His first stint in Finland would see him spend the 2020 and 2021 seasons with a couple of clubs. Third-tier side Icanis IF and in 2020, and FC Honka in 2021. He would score 31 goals and register 9 assists and 61 appearances in all competitions over those 2 seasons. He would take home the Yukon Player of the Year and Top Goal Scorer Award in 2020 with EIF. Smith would also feature in 4 matches in the UEFA Conference League with Honka. So, and before heading to Europe, he spent his first 6 seasons bouncing around clubs in South Africa. Among those clubs, Amazulu FC, Vasco da Gama, Santos FC, Supersport United, and Ubuntu Cape Town FC, making a total of 41 appearances in South Africa. So, well-traveled striker, shall we say, and from what it sounds like, probably one of the top goal scorers in that Finnish league. So we welcome him here to Detroit. And as I mentioned, we finally got a striker, folks. Oh my God. Batten down the hatches. That's for the striker crowd out there. But good news there as far as that goes. I expect another signing coming, within the coming days or so. They announced that they were in terms of getting 3 signings at least, and of course we already knew about the trying to think of his name now. So Matt Sheldon that re-signed with Detroit City on a 1-year deal for this coming season. So so good news coming in as training camp begins for the for Le Rouge there. So no preseason announcements as far as matches go as of yet, but that will come down the line. I'm sure I might find out a little bit more on Saturday. I don't know. We'll talk. Hopefully Trevor will be with us on Saturday. Maybe Danny Dicchio will show up on Saturday as well, because Saturday we are back to women's action after a what seemed like a long break for Detroit City FC. They hadn't played in almost a month, and now they're going to be back at it this coming Saturday night down at Detroit City Fieldhouse as they take on Indiana United. Now, as you know, the last match that was supposed to take place, let's see, a couple weeks ago, it was supposed to be on a Saturday night, and it conflicted with the Detroit Lions playoff game against the Washington Commanders. And both clubs decided they would postpone the match and move it into later on this February. So now they have a game coming up. They have 2 matches with Indiana United back-to-back weeks, and then following that, there will be a match with Kalamazoo United before traveling there, and then I think they have a weekend down in Hammond, Indiana, where they'll be taking on Indiana United down there in back-to-back, Saturday, Sunday affairs down there. And then taking on the Iowa Demon Hawks, in which it was announced last week, I believe, they will be hosting the MASL-W championship final over there coming up, and that will be taking place in March, or late in March of this year. Other news I want to share with you, the Open Cup format has been announced for 2025. Now, it's a little bit different this year as far as the Open Cup goes, because now there's going to be more MLS teams involved. In fact, it's doubling from what it was last year. Now, we'll see what happens as far as some of these teams go, but I'm not promising anything with MLS. I cannot promise anything with MLS because it's MLS. However, they said that 16 clubs will be able to join in the USL Open Cup this year. They will be coming in the round of 32. As far as Detroit City FC goes, Detroit City FC will enter in the third round of the competition, the round before the round of 32. And here's the twist, folks. We get to host a playoff game, or get to host an Open Cup game at Keyworth Stadium. That's right. Top 4 seeds from each conference in the USL Championship will be provided with home field advantage or home field designation in the third round of the Open Cup. So no matter who our opponent will be, they will be traveling to Keyworth Stadium for that match. Now, let's see here. I'm looking up the Open Cup as we speak. But the as I mentioned, there will be a few teams here from the there will be a few teams, the top 8 teams, obviously, or top 6, there'll be 8 teams. So like the bottom 4 of each conference will be entering in I think they're going to be an early one. So let's take a look here. We'll take a look at the so we'll look at all the participating teams here. Okay, here's the participating teams from Major League Soccer, as I just pulled it up here. Austin FC, Charlotte FC, Chicago Fire FC, DC United, FC Dallas, Houston Dynamo. Of course, as you know, we beat Houston Dynamo last year down in Houston in the Open Cup. Minnesota United, team we faced the year prior to that. They beat us at Keyworth Stadium. Nashville SC, New England Revolution, New York City FC, New York Red Bulls, or New York City FC. Orlando City, Philadelphia Union, Portland Timbers, San Jose Earthquakes, and St. Louis City FC. One club that is absent from the competition is last year's champion, LAFC, due to the fact that they are participating in the CONCACAF Champions League as well as participating in Leagues Cup because of the old fixture congestion thing. They will not be participating in the Open Cup. All the teams in the tournament for USL Championship, 8 teams will enter in the first round of the tournament. The remaining 16 will enter in the third round of the tournament. Those teams that are entering in the first round of the tournament include Birmingham Legion, El Paso Locomotive, FC Tulsa, Hartford Athletic, Lexington SC, the newest club in the league, Loudoun United, Miami FC, Monterey Bay, and I believe that is it as far as the clubs that will be entering in the first round of the competition this year. So the 16 teams that will be joining Detroit City FC in the third round of the competition include Charleston Battery, Colorado Springs Switchbacks, Indy 11, Las Vegas Lights, Louisville City, New Mexico United, North Carolina FC, Oakland Roots, Oakland County or Orange County SC, Phoenix Rising, Pittsburgh Riverhounds, Rhode Island FC, Sacramento Republic, San Antonio FC, and the Tampa Bay Rowdies. Among those teams in that first round that will be hosting games, including Detroit City FC, in that third round. Among those teams are Charleston Battery, Indy 11, Las Vegas Lights, Colorado Springs Switchbacks, Lou City, New Mexico United, and Sacramento Republic. So those 8 clubs will have home designation in the third round of the U.S. Open Cup competition. So exciting news there. Not sure when the announcement's going to come, when we can buy tickets yet, but I'm assuming, I hate to use that word, but the reason why they're doing that is if now that they know that these teams will be hosting games in the competition, now they can go ahead and offer tickets for sale. It should help with attendance, and a lot of this stems from also the even with the MLS sides, you saw the crowd against you saw the crowd with us against Houston Dynamo. Very sparse crowd in Houston that night, and an even sparser crowd over at over at IUPUI or Indiana. Well, I was say Indiana University, whatever it is now. But over at Michael Carroll Stadium, there was a very sparse crowd and all that. With that game, because of the timing, of when that match was going to be played and, the location of the match. Keyword, don't have to worry about it, sell out and all that stuff. Although we had I think we did pretty well for the game against Michigan Stars last year. So, but then, as I mentioned, we mentioned the last 2 matches that we were in the competition, we were on the road. And a lot of this is hoping to get more people into the venue. I understand it's hard to sell a midweek game. I'll tell you that right now. It's very hard to sell a midweek game. But with the anticipation of having that game in hand and being able to host it, you can, alert your fan base a little bit more and try to get people in, and try to have more of a try to have more of a better atmosphere instead of just blasé or whatever it is. But and its potential revenue there's still going to be that little 50-50 split between both clubs as far as that goes. But as far as match revenue, that's also and everything on top of that, you got your vendor, you got your vendors coming in, selling their things like we do at Keyworth, with the food trucks and whatnot, and side vendors, that'll sell their wares and stuff like that, or the food, whatever. Merchandise sales, obviously, with the Detroit City Club Store at Keyworth, and all kinds of beer sales, whatever it is. But it's supposed to help with adding potential revenue as far as the club goes, or as far as the clubs go in the competition. So it's it's a win. I think it's a win-win situation and all that stuff. And hopefully, like I said, with these clubs knowing that they're going to be hosting a third round game, and then with the other let's see here, the other I think there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 clubs in MLS that will be doing the same thing. They'll be hosting in the round of 32. They'll have a guaranteed home game there. So that's another that they'll be and if they're able to sell those tickets and get it, try to get more people in there. And like I said, it's hard to sell a midweek match. But when you have this much far in advance, it's hard to sell a midweek match, especially when you have like a 2-3 week time frame to do it. This way, now when you're coming in, when your match is gonna, what the the time frame of the match is gonna be. You just you can better plan it and get those ticket revenue going. So great move by the USOC as far as that goes. heading for, and USSF, for giving a little bit of an incentive for teams. Make the top four, you get to host a U.S. Open Cup match. That's a good trade-off, if you ask me. So, I mean, if you're guaranteed to host that match, that's more benefit to it. It's just like having, like the Lions, getting the best record in the NFC. You get to host a playoff game. You get to host the NFC Championship. Should you have made the NFC Championship game, it's great to have that home atmosphere, especially in a competition like this. So, good on the USSF and the people at the U.S. Open Cup for doing that. So I'm looking forward for some exciting teams. So we got Open Cup home, a guaranteed home Open Cup game, 2 Jägermeister Cup games on top of everything else going on. So it should be an exciting time as far as the season goes. Now, Saturday, might have an announcement of another sighting. We never know, but Steve and I are going to break it down on Saturday, the new signings, as we get ready, get you set for Detroit City FC taking on Indiana United in MASL-W action at the Detroit City Fieldhouse. If you haven't gotten those tickets already, make sure you do. It's going to sell out. I'm going to guarantee that. It's definitely going to sell out. The place is only like 450, 500 people in there. So just saying. So, but as I mentioned, we'll have our pre-match show, obviously, before the match. The game, if you cannot be able to make it, yes, it will be on the Detroit City FC YouTube channel. So make sure you tune in if you're not able to make it on Saturday night. I believe Jared Mackey and Dave Dwahey will be on the call on that one. They did a fantastic job last year covering the games for the Detroit City FC YouTube channel. Now, we weren't sure if, we weren't going to be able to, provide a live stream of a game, but, it should be good. And it's going to be, and I think it'll be probably good, as far as the MASL-W goes. I don't know of many MASL-W teams that, live stream their games. I have to do a little bit more research on that. Maybe with the Iowa Demon Hawks, maybe something will come up with them. I'm not sure about what Indiana United's streaming policies are. We already know, we can already tell, Kalamazoo City FC or whatever, Kalamazoo United, they'll stream it, but it'll be available like 3 or 4 days later. That I do know. So, and that was from experience, trying to, figure out that first game. The last, we would have been able to broadcast the first game, or Detroit City FC would have been able to broadcast the first game if it wasn't for a technical issue. Unfortunately, they didn't have the transponder, the box or the transponder to, deliver it out to the internet. So, as that's why we couldn't be able to get live coverage of that game. They were able to do that this week, and good thing they had that month off so they can figure that thing out. Now we should have no problems on Saturday night. So those of you that can't make it to the clubhouse, make sure you watch the game on the Detroit City FC YouTube channel, and pre and post game of that match, Soccer Night in Detroit. Make sure you follow, like and subscribe to Soccer Night in Detroit. We'll have pre and post game coverage from, albeit taped, but pre and post game coverage from Detroit City Fieldhouse on Saturday night. So, getting back into the swing of things, I'm loving it. And March 8th, moving closer and closer and closer and closer, and getting ready for some exciting times in Detroit City FC soccer. So until we meet again on Saturday night, Madcat here saying, keep your feet in the ground, keep reaching for the galaxy.